sure I can actually hear things. Let's do this.
On this table, these
I can hear this. Can you
players
guys
have been
hear
playing a long
this?
time and have quite some success, so they've accrued the
Sounds like you guys can hear that. Move OBS over here. Tell it to play Oldhim. True. Unless you're a Fang, then you play Aggro Oldhim. No, but like actually, how do I like make Nightbot like not cringe? My volume, not like the mic volume or the gameplay volume. My voice, okay. Audio. It's the correct microphone. I physically can't get closer to my microphone. And I have it on max settings. I don't know. Ever since I moved, my microphone got really cringe. It was like perfectly fine before, and now my mic is just like, nah, fuck you. I'm never gonna work. Half the time I'm in Discord calls with my team. They just like can't hear me. I don't. Well, yeah, I'm like throating my mic. Of course, it's better. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to do about it. Okay. While we wait for people to filter in, I'm gonna do some of my homework. So just so you guys know what the stream is gonna be, we're gonna be obviously playing a little bit of Gravy, just like a little bit, because I gotta do podcast at 8 o'clock, which is in 3 hours from now. Doing a Runaways cast again this week. Hope you guys are ready for more controversy and more 2 hour podcasting. But beyond that, gonna be playing some Gravy games. I'm gonna, while we're waiting for people to filter in, do a little bit of my homework. And that being said, we're gonna be talking about my process as far as learning decks goes. This is something that I've been mulling over, making content on for a while. I figure I should formalize this because this is something that I just kind of internalize, that I just do on my own in my head, but I've never written it down before. So I figure, hey, what the fuck? I should write the shit down, do it with you guys, and then maybe we can turn it into an actual video afterwards and kind of cut this down and kind of show you what it's like learning a deck on like a high level. Because for a lot of people, I imagine how they learn decks is just spamming games on Talishar with very little intent behind their gameplay. They're just pushing buttons and they don't really like. I don't know how to put it better than that. They're just playing games, and that's a really bad way to learn, and it's a bad use of your time because you know we're all busy. We've all got lives. You got to min max your time. You got to get the most out of it, and this is how I'm able to get a lot out of a little bit of practice. And so yeah, we're gonna be going over that in a little bit. But yeah, like I said, while we wait for people to filter in, I'm just going to start watching a game. This is part of my homework. This is a part of getting better at the game. I was told this game was interesting, so I wanted to watch this at least. Yeah, it's different in a bad way to learn. You don't learn which way, the spamming games or the what I'm talking about that I do.
the riches.
We are seeing some goodies in the hands of both players here. I'm going to see if I can take a peek as things go on. But
yeah, that's how I feel Ravenous.
it's here for
it's like
going first.
small bit of cringe when I'm on the podcast because that's what I watch on my way to work, and now I'm like, ah, shit, I don't have anything to watch now that I'm on
the other side,
I ain't watching a rerun.
Many treasure pack gold foils.
So I was told this game was interesting because Bartosz ended up dying, even though he got like a bunch of chums and stuff out, and I'm sorry, not Bartosz died. Max died, rather. Not Chum. Chowder. I'm bad with card names. My conception of the matchup, of how I think it works in this matchup, is that the Verdance is either going to try to fatigue you or kill you. And you need to sideboard in such a way to beat both of these strategies. And posture yourself in such a way where once you realize how they're playing the game, which is pretty easy. You put some guys out. Do they kill the guys? No, they're probably trying to kill you. Are they going face? They're probably trying to kill you. Are they picking off your guys? They're probably trying to fatigue you. So once you've realized that, if they're trying to kill you, then you're trying to establish some sawbones, or if you're playing them, chowders. And then it's really hard for the Verdants to actually win because you're just blunting so much damage, and eventually you're going to get there. So to my understanding of how this game played out from listening to someone else, he did get some of the chowders and still ended up dying. I was told it was because he was trading damage. So I want to see what happened here and how that came to be, and maybe if there are some decisions that maybe he made that I don't agree with, and try to reason out why he would make those decisions. This is a big part of learning. I'm trying to think through their turns and get better. You're not a big fan of Chowder? I think Chowder is like a good card, but it's for a specific niche. It's against decks that aren't trying to fatigue you and are trying to kill you, but also aren't trying to clear your allies. And that's a very small subsect of heroes, because most decks that are trying to kill you, I think, still try to clear your allies somewhat. So it's hard to get value out of the Chowder there.
So for Maximilian
good start.
Klein,
We gain some life. We shoot him. I'm gonna
pitched here
fast forward through this a
soak up
bit because
pulsing
I don't
aether
care
life.
about the commentary.
for the
I'm just trying to look at the decisions being made and talk about it. So I don't want to sit here for an hour watching this game. So yeah, we shoot him. He's got AB1, so can't really do shit about this. Might as well just filter the hand. That makes sense. No filter on turn 0. I couldn't tell if he had a thing. That's one thing I wish the Savage Feats or whoever did this would do more often. More dedicated hand cams. They'll like sometimes do that and like go in for the hand cam, but I would love to be able to just have 3 cameras, or 5 cameras, I guess. One of the board, one of each of the face cams, and one of each of the hand cams just constantly up. So I could always tell what their hand is. Because when I'm watching these games, what I want to do is look at their hand and hit the pause button. And then go, how would I play this hand without the bias of I already know what they would have done? Because once they've already... yeah, everything's expensive in this game, man. Like, bad time to get into the game. I posted about this on Facebook when someone made a post about this a little while ago, being like, I honestly stopped recommending... Like, I used to recommend Flesh and Blood to anyone that would listen to me. You know that meme of, do you want to hear about our Lord and Savior, Flesh and Blood? That was literally me. Anytime I went to the card shop, any card shop, anyone walks up and asks, what are you guys playing? I'm immediately preaching the sermon. I stopped doing that recently because I don't want to tell these people to get into the game and then they see the prices and then... Obviously, they're not going to get into the game now. But if prices then drop later, they're going to have that preconceived notion that the game is still expensive. So it's just pointless to try to get people into the game right now. They got to do something about it. But I don't want to talk about that on this stream. Okay, so boat makes sense. Is that an ally in pitch? Huh. Oh, I guess it's not an... It must just be a treasure card. Okay, that makes sense. What's the last card? I think it's a call. Okay, so then we can call for a Chowder here or a Sawbones. That's pretty good. This makes sense. Yeah, I just want to establish Chowder and Sawbones, and this is nice because we're not pissing away our gold. Bartosz POV, he probably just needs to block this. And then that gives you space, and then that means that whatever you call for probably sticks around because Bartosz is on a 2-card hand. He'd have to commit like his card and arsenal to kill it. That's 1 plow out of the way, and that's 2 heartbeats. Anka? Why would we get Anka here? I don't understand this. Because we get Dead Threads for another $1. Maybe he doesn't want to waste his Sawbones and he's trying to conserve his Sawbones to pair it. But if we have a Chowder in the deck, surely we grab that. We still get 3 damage, and then we got the life gain train on the board. I guess we don't know at this point of the game how Bartosz is planning on playing the game. So we haven't established that we need to stop Bartosz from smorking us. So I guess in that world it makes sense. This is kind of in between the two. I don't want to waste my Sawbones. I don't know if I actually want Chowder this game, so I'm just going to get some damage while I can. Okay, this makes sense. And then Jig is up here. Where is this going? Face? If this is going face, I think we know that it's Bro, I was about to just post a picture of 2 blue like golf balls or something on Twitter. Like we're beyond suspense at this point. It's the first somewhere, I guess. It's still the first here. Okay, so now that we know that he's going face with us and not killing our guy, Jig is up. Let's preserve our life total and get guys on the board. We can block and then swing our guy. I think ideally we would love to block, crack gold, put a guy in the bin, dead threads, swing for 5 for free, and then Arsenal pass. So we got like, oh god, what is that? If it's 2/3 blocks, we're getting 6, 11. We're getting 11 value plus an Arsenal off of 4 random cards. That's pretty good. We piss away our gold, though, which kind of sucks. Really depends on the hand texture. Blocking with a conch is kind of crazy. I know it's not good here, but it's a really good card. Huh? I guess I don't know what's on top of the deck. That kind of changes things here. If our top of deck is just like another ally that sucks ass, so I might as well just do this. And nothing here blocked. If the top of deck blocked, though, I might have cracked gold on opponent's turn to draw and then block with that card, so that way we could Arsenal the conch. And then we just swing for 5, pitching an ally. Kind of sucks, but whatever. At least we got guys on the board, and I can't tell because it's Marvel. Is this a Sawbones? I can't tell. I guess getting a Sawbones out is pretty good. See, this is where it's a little unsure if he's going for fatigue or not, because he killed a guy and went face in the same turn, so I'm a little uncertain if I'm on Max's side. But I think I'm still assuming he's going face. It's just got to get the Sawbones off the board. We can't really beat that card. Guy, blue, sloop, and then what is the top card? Did we get a peek at it? I'm kind of into just pitching one of the guys here to AB. Really depends on what's on top. I kind of want to just, like, crack. We could also crack on his turn Dead Threads AB1. That's pretty good. And then if it's a blue, we can sloop. Yeah. And then hopefully this chart hits. Yeah, that makes sense to kill that. I'm just saying from Max's POV, this is what's going through my mind here. Like, he sent 6 at guy instead of face. A little, like, there's still the thought that Bartosz could pivot. Bartosz has not pot committed go face this game yet. He's still at 39. There's a chance Bartosz pivots into fatigue. So I gotta be wary of that. Wait, he just played the Whaler? Huh. And he drew a blue, so we knew the chart was going to hit something. I don't know if I agree with playing the Whaler here. Because that's a saltwater sloop in Arsenal, or not in Arsenal, in a pitch, right? Like, what are we doing here? We're just like hoping Bartosz spends his turn killing that, I guess. Like, he already is doing. Like, we're not making any progress here. We traded our gold on the cycle for a damage and an arsenal. We didn't like advance the game at all. I might have just YOLO'd off of that chart. Like, worst case, we miss, make some gold, which we desperately need right now, and then we play the other Ankh. That's still good. And if we hit, we get to play the Ankh and play the sloop. That's also pretty good. We get another guy on the board and 11 damage. Yeah, I don't know if I agree with this. I feel like we're not making any progress doing this. Probably just kills the Whaler here because what else is he going to do? Gain some life. And then I assume stick. No stick? Huh. Whatever. Oh, he can't stick. It's an instant. Never mind. Yep, we need some gold. That does not make gold. This is not making any progress. I guess. And then sloop him. Is this double sloop? Pitch a blue. No, because we haven't dead threads. He... Did he draw the chart? If he drew the chart, then I guess this makes sense, but if he didn't... If he had the chart to begin with, I probably would just play the chart. Man, we're so poor this game. Where's the tipples? At least we got the Gold Kiss in play while we don't have gold in play. Like, we're probably not hero powering on a turn here. See, like, he's trading damage here. I probably just want to block. I think blocking with a give no quarter makes sense. I guess the hand kind of blocked poorly. New set trailer? Is it on YouTube? We'll watch it together. Super Slam. Alright, chat, you ready?
It ain't looking good for the fans of our...
Hold your hammer, Judd, because that's a smile this crowd will never forget.
Yet another champion sits at the center of the ring as we...
Watch out, watch out, watch out!
Well, folks, you may not like it, but this is exactly the type of anything goes you can expect to find here
So,
in the arena.
heavy hitters too.
And a damn good show, Dax, because look who's up next, and he's smelling blood already.
That brood is no stranger to it.
Huh. You start the game with one weapon zone. Instant pay 4, tap it. Target attack action card you control has base 6 power. Whenever the crowd boos, you create a vigor token. Reviled? Is that the way to pronounce that? Reviled? Huh. It's not a demi-hero.
A cheap shot. Lots of booze coming from the crowd here, Judd.
Rightly so. KO rips through his competition, and well, we all remember what happened last season.
Oh, he killed a lot of people.
He sure did.
Never really did find out who unlocked that cage.
There's the bumbling big boy. It's tough to...
Just swatting these reviled punks like flies.
It sure is
I like this
easy
guy.
loving that jolly green mug.
Oh, honestly.
Oh, this guy's funny. What a goober. 3 int. Sheesh. Whenever the crowd cheers you, make a toughness, and then as an instant, you can tap him, pitch the top card of your deck. If it has 6 or more power, the crowd cheers you. Huh. Interesting.
I'm
assuming
not even
toughness
sure
is
why he's in
for
there,
blocking.
Judd.
And I don't think he knows either. Not a
Oh,
thought.
what was his subtyping? Revered brute hero. So it's a heal versus what's the opposite of a heal? I don't actually know wrestling.
Honestly, I'm not even sure. Wait, what's this? No way! Now that's what I call a people's champion.
But our show goes on, because the headliner
Oh, that's
here
cool.
for some headbang, and I'm not talking dancing.
You know her, you love her, but not as much as me. The one, the only, the Yeti!
No way.
Okay. Another guard. She's a. Okay. Chat. We might finally play Guardian. I said I'd never do it. I might finally play Guardian. Oh no! She's hot! Instant tap, remove a suspense counter from an aura you control. When you put a suspense counter on an aura of suspense you control, whenever the crowd cheers, you create a confidence token.
What gets the crowd jumping like our revered superstar here?
The suspense
That's cool art.
is killing me, Judd.
And you're not the only one. Down goes the mighty Quake Drake.
You think she'd sign my mic?
Not a chance. Folks, thank y'all for joining us as we sign off.
Enjoying the show? Thought so. Let's fix that then, shall we? There's only one champion of this ring, long may he reign, and the name's Goldmane. You see, the bookie and I have
So it's not Victor? So Victor is the horse. Does this confirm Victor's the horse? Okay, so base attack and defense of cards you control are halved, rounded up. As an instant, you can pay 2 and tap him. The crowd boos you. Defending action cards you control get +1 defense this turn. Whenever the crowd boos you, create a might token. That seems really powerful. Your 3 blocks become 2 blocks. But then you're drawing 5 cards, so whatever. But then you can activate this to give them all +1 defense. That's fine. The attack being halved is kind of shit, though. Is a weapon a card you control? I don't know the rules minutia of that. That seems really powerful.
an accord. Show me someone who won't kneel to me, and I'll show you a corpse.
You heard the dwarf.
It's time
For a
Super Slam!
Okay, pre-release September 26th, world premiere September 19th. I'll probably be going to that. The Montreal thing. Cool trailer. All right, is there any secret at the end? Do we have any Marvel secret at the end? Oh, maybe.
Talk about cutting a fight short, am I right?
Let's call it an encore then.
No,
shall
we?
Wait. He's a dwarf? Oh. That's cool. I could not tell from this, like, position he's in that he's a dwarf.
All right.
Let me pause it on it.
Let's call it an encore then. Shall we?
Yeah, look how short he is. So it's... I'm so confused. So is this just, like, a relative of Victor or something? What's the lore here? Huh? I got my passport right there. I'm going to remember this time. I got a checklist. See, that was the problem. I have a checklist and I check it for flying. Since we were driving, that was the problem. I don't have a... Why would I check my checklist for driving? Okay, we had enough people filter in. How much longer is this game? Okay, I think we can quickly fast forward through this, and then we'll jump into the main topic of the... I want to say the pod. This is not the pod. The pod's for later. The stream. That's the word. Yeah, kind of priced into playing this tipple here. That makes sense. Any card off the top of the deck is probably good. We can hero power if it's an ally. We'll play it if it's a blue. I guess we don't need to play it. We have a tipple. We arsenal a blue here, I guess. Arsenal red or blue. Hero power if it's an ally. We already know what the top is. I don't know if I would have looked at the top of my deck there. I think I want to look at the top of my deck after playing the tipple, so I can know what I'm trying to do with the card in my hand right now. Okay, so he takes it. Okay, so it's not an ally in hand, otherwise he wouldn't be doing this. Get our free 5 damage in. Makes sense, though I really want to establish that chowder, but I guess this makes sense. If we play the chowder, we don't get to attack. No, we still get to attack with the chowder, because the chowder attacks for free. I might have just played the chowder. But I guess having that in the bin makes blues on future turns relevant, because we currently only have one guy in the bin. I'm trying to see hook to that. I feel like you want to hook the Anka. Wait, how are we paying for this? Huh? How much is chowder? I thought chowder was 3. What am I missing? Oh, he pitched another card. Okay, okay. What card is that? Is that Rabble or Port Side? I can't tell. Either way, I think I arsenal that. If it's a Port Side, I definitely arsenal it. I guess he wants to keep his arsenal open because of the Command and Conquers and the Plows. But we've already seen 3, at least. 1 Command and Conquer and I think 2 Plows. Might have been 4. Paid off. I guess he had 2 forms of Command and Conquer in his hand. I don't think I play around Command and Conquer for the rest of the game after this. There's, what, 1 left in the deck? And we still have our hook up, so like we can defend if we have a 2 block and a 3 block. And it's not like there's any other on hits to worry about. Makes sense. Don't actually have anything in the bin right now. Yeah, this seems like a really good spot. We're going to have double Chowder in play with guys to attack with. I guess we haven't cast a blue yet. I don't know what the card in hand is. But even if we don't, like, we have the Chowder for next round. It's fine. I just want to start blocking. Oh, that's true. I guess just in the short term, just increase the price of, like, all of our Guardian stuff and Brute stuff. Just, like, go through heavy hitters and increase the price of that stuff. WTR stuff. Just we can go back through it later, but just for now, just increase the price on them to, like, something unreasonable where people won't buy them, so we can decide what we want to sell them for later. Did he play another Tipple? Tipple. He has one card in hand. Oh, he activated Hero Power. Okay. Probably just to get a blue in the bin so he can play the Chowder. Okay, I guess. Yeah, this seems like a really difficult to lose game at this point. I would have preferred if we played slightly different earlier, just slightly, but we got a clock and two Chowders, and we're healthy. An opponent hasn't fully decomposed yet, right? Or has he? Is that what the Pikachu coin means? He's fully decomposed? Gain some life. Ping. Why is there a Togetic? What does that mean? Huh? If this is going face, I probably just AB. I just don't want to take damage anymore. We have a board. I'm, like, willing also at this point, probably, to give my entire hand, though ideally I'd prefer not to. I think ideally I'd prefer to give 3 cards, Dead Threads, an ally. I'm sorry, Hero Power, discard an ally, Dead Threads, swing for 5, Arsenal, whatever I draw, pass. If we draw an ally off the top of the deck, then draw off of gold, probably. Yeah, I think I pitch, like, another card there. Unless our hand is, like, insane. But even if it's insane, Bartos is at 28. We're winning this game because of the double Chowder, I think. Oh, he's got the sauce. So the Prismatic is converting into 5. The Swell, I guess, puts a thing in the bin, and then we can play the Chum. I don't think playing the Chum matters. I don't think this matters. I can understand the prismatic, but like, I don't care about establishing more guys here. We've already got a clock. Like, my board is good for the rest of the game. I just don't want to take damage. I think I just would have defended it with another card. We could have also, if we really wanted to and just be a monster, not Compass here. No, this is great. We just don't Compass. We Hero Power, discard a, crack a gold to Hero Power, draw, discard an ally, dead threads, play the swell, Hero Power, Compass. If it's a blue, we play the swell. If it's not a blue, and it's an ally, then I guess just play the port side? I don't know. I think I'd just block with more cards, like one more card here. Just move on with life. Just take my damage and move on. Because I don't think getting another 5 value on this round really matters. And this chum does not matter at all. This is what I like. I'll block. At least now with the chum we have a free hammer, but doesn't matter if our hammer's free if we're just going to do something else, though. Prevent damage, that makes sense. Whatever, give them all my cards. I don't care. If the card on top of my deck blocks and I have a non-block, 2 non-blocks in my hand, I'll just Hero Power. I'm not taking damage anymore. We don't actually need to do anything to win this game. Makes sense. Take our free 6 value. Bartosz the 3 dice. Look kind of silly now discarding the chum. Probably should have pitched that. Tip the barkeep to the other thing. We could have saved 1 more damage here. We're wasting a resource. And also by doing this with the chum, we lost our free hammer. Yeah, I don't think that chum mattered. I don't think we should have activated it. Hopefully we discard an ally here. Makes sense. Bartosz with the tear. gets snagged. I feel like at this point there's not much game to really look at here, because this entire game now is just block with a whole hand 6 for free, block with whole hand 6 for free. So the entire game is on Bartosz's side, I guess. Sucks that we don't have gold anymore, but whatever, just pitch it to AB. So we kept 1 card here? 2 cards? No shot, he kept cards that they defended. Okay, the eye makes sense. Is that a conch? That's pretty good. It's a conch, right? Not playing it seems dubious. Yeah, I really want to take Bartosz's cards with that. And assumedly whatever's in Bartosz... Like, this late in the game, assumedly whatever Bartosz is arsenaling is important. Because you really just want to keep your arsenal open if it's just some random bullshit card. So that way you can combo off with your hat. So I'm assuming whatever he's got set is, like, a good card. So fighting over it's pretty good. Pitched 2 cards to AB. Okay. Is it just like an arcane spell in Arsenal? Yeah, see? It was a good card. This is a huge mistake. Definitely want to activate the Chowders on Bartosz's turn while Bartosz is tapped out. Like, you probably activate the Chowders right here. No, nothing Bartosz is going to do kills us from 12. You just don't want to do that when you're at fucking 3 or whatever and just die to Striders. So, like, this should have happened over here. And then we activate those, and Bartosz goes kaboom. Yeah, it was a burn bear, see? I think we were supposed to play the conch last round. If we conked him last turn, what does Bartosz do? Like, his hand was terrible for defending that, right? He had a ramp in his hand, so he would have given us the pulse and chest to block 4, 5. He still has to give us another card, even if he gives us the gauntlets. Yeah, he has to give us 2 cards here, or lose the burn. Anywho, okay. Good game. Good game. Now let's get into the main topic. So, anyone that's just filtered in, today we're going to be talking about learning new decks. And I'm starting my journey learning Gravy. I'm sorry, chat, if you already heard this earlier, but you're going to hear it again right now. So, a lot of people, when they're learning a new hero, I think approach it in the wrong way, where they just grab a deck list and start spamming games on Talishar. And you can apply this to any game. This was the case back when I played other card games too. People would just play games without intent. This is something that I've always kind of done in the back of my head, and I've never really put it to words, to writing or anything. So I figured, while I'm learning Gravy Bones, this would make a good piece of content where I learn Gravy Bones with you guys, and I go through my process with you of how to learn and master a new hero. And then maybe after this series is done, I might edit this down, consolidate it, and make like an individual video about it. So, learning with intent. So basically, I'm gonna sit down and I'm gonna write myself. In my case, normally I just do it in my head. I don't write this down. But for you guys at home, if you're doing the same thing, I would recommend having a living document where you do this. You're gonna write down all of your thoughts about the deck and all the questions that you have about it before you start getting to work. Any preconceived notions that you have, any ideas of what strong turns look like, how the hero wins, what games look like when you're losing, any questions that you have of, is this card good? How do I win this matchup? How does this card interact with this matchup? You just kind of want to throw a bunch of shit at the wall and write it all down. So that way, while you're playing your games, you know these are things that you're trying to answer while playing the games, not just ook, play games. So let's jump into mine and what I initially wrote down. So to start, I wrote down some of the strong interactions that I've identified with Gravy Bones. I definitely need to identify more strong interactions, and this is an area I would like to fill out as we go on with the hero, because there's a lot of good things in the deck, but what are the things that I really want to lean into? Actually, I want to put another one down right now, actually. I just thought of another one. Gravy Bones has a ton of card filtering, which I think lends itself to some specific things. For one, it adds a lot of deck velocity, which was a strength that both Aurora and Lexi had, where because you're seeing so many cards, all the extra card filtering would help you filter through your deck to see more of your strong cards. And in the case of Gravy Bones, what this does is it also lets me see niche cards more often. So I can, say, play singletons in the deck. I'll see them more often because I'm seeing more of my deck more often. Between the hero power, between the compass, between the gold, between the Calls of the Grave. So it makes silver bullets more impactful. And on some of them, I can just let them sit in the graveyard and wait until they're relevant. So, strong interactions I've identified so far. Call of the Grave for Chum is insane. It is a 2-card 10. You play Call of the Grave, you put Chum in the graveyard, or anything if you already have the Chum in the grave. You activate your Dead Threads, you play the Chum, you swing the Chum, you got 4 on offense, 6 on defense, so it's a 2-card 10. Obviously, this is even better if you didn't have to call for something. You just have a Chum in your grave, and you activate your hero power, and just pitch a blue to play the Chum. It's a 1-card 10. Insane. Chum is nuts. Closing the game with Humperdinck is really powerful. You slam the Humperdinck when your opponent has to block with at least 3 cards, and they cannot clear the Humperdinck. Next round, you do it again. You take 4 cards, and you just do this until they deck out, or you find some other way to get some chip damage, like a go and again attack. Chum plus Sawbones is really annoying to deal with, I've seen, for a lot of decks. You play the Chum, and they're like, oh man, do I have to kill this? Well, I might not have something that efficiently deals 6, and then you can cheese them and redirect to the Chum when they go to kill it with a 6, and there's some just shenanigans that can ensue with these 2 cards combined. Saltwater Swell, I think is the name of the card, and Chart the High Seas with Back Alley Breakline is insane. That just is not an interaction that I really thought about before looking at this deck. It just getting to pitch the Back Alley and get both the 3 money and the action point is absolutely nuts. Now let's go into some of the assumptions that I have with the deck. These is like This can be how I think I'm winning games, for example. This isn't necessarily what I have here, but something that you can think about when you're working on a deck. It can be how I'm winning the game, how I think I'm losing the game, cards that I think lead me to victory, cards that I think that I need to park an arsenal to have success, anything like that. Looks like the expansion slot is 1 out of 6 instead of 1 out of 15. That's cool. I think my win percentage goes up every time I activate Hook and every time I activate Hero Power. This goes hand in hand with that other thing I was talking about with the card filtering, but man, gold is nuts. It's so good in this deck, and just getting to Hook more often means that at a minimum, I'm drawing... Every time I make a gold, at a minimum, I'm getting a third of a card in value, because I can pitch a blue to crack gold, replace the card that I pitched, and float $1. So every time I make a gold, I'm essentially making a Vigor token on delay. And that's really, really powerful. On top of that, this is going to go hand in hand with my this one down here, but I see the deck as kind of a engine deck where I just need to make sure that I'm doing what my deck is supposed to be doing, and I'm probably winning the game. If I'm getting to play the game, I'm winning the game. It's not like other decks in Fab where you're just trying to get your generic value every turn. Like, this is not a normal Fab deck. And the gold is the key piece to make the deck function. So, if I'm hooking more often, I'm making more gold. If I'm making more gold, my deck is functioning. I think that I can beat aggro decks just straight up by outvaluing them. Now, how do we accomplish this? We're going to get to that later. But I don't think that I'm beating aggro decks necessarily by, like, playing more defensive than they are and fighting over their hit triggers. I think that if I'm just playing the game and my deck is doing its thing, going back to that other point, I'm winning the game. So I want to make sure that I'm doing my thing. And then coming back to this point earlier, I want to build the deck less like a Flesh and Blood deck and more like a Yu-Gi-Oh deck, where there's a lot less focus on that turn-to-turn value that Flesh and Blood decks typically have, and there's a greater focus on engine pieces. This is pretty similar to how Prism was being played back during the MST meta, where you're more of a combo deck, and you're just in... all that matters is doing my thing. So again, I want to make sure that my deck is always functioning, and I'm going to put a great emphasis on engine pieces. Questions that need answering. These are things that I don't know yet, and I need to figure out while I'm playing my games. How many gold kisses do I actually want to make in a game? Because I'm seeing a lot of people play like 5 to 6 of the gold kiss cards. I don't know if that's correct. I feel like I don't actually want to make that many gold kiss runs during a game. I feel like in a lot of games, even the fatigue games, I'm probably happy only making 2 to 3 gold kisses. Does that mean I can cut a lot of the gold kisses, or do I need to have them in the deck to be able to see them? Or is it a case where I'm going to, in these long games, end up playing all of the gold kisses that are in my deck no matter what? So just having exactly the amount I want in the deck is correct. So I want to think about that during my games. Because there's an issue with it where, if we go back to my other thesis that I'm trying to hero power every turn, well, this kind of plays at odds with the gold kiss, because I'm taxing my hero power, or the tapping of my hero significantly. So there's definitely a balance here between the two that I need to strike and figure out. Next is probably the most important part of the deck that I need to figure out. What decks can actually race me? Because it seems like not every deck can actually race me, and they just kind of have to go, oh shit, and have to fatigue me. So as I'm playing my games, I'm going to be thinking about this in the back of my head. And once I've come to consensus on this, and I have more of a thought on how I feel about this, I'm going to make another page on this document and start writing down my thoughts on these different things. And I'm going to break these decks broadly up into 3 categories. Decks that can actually race me. First one. These are our Syndras of the world. Decks that can try to race me if I don't respect their damage. We just watched that game of Verdance. We didn't respect their damage from the Gravy side, and we died. But it's also a deck that can just fatigue me. So I got to be careful about that. So I got to play in such a way where I'm hedging for the fact that they can race me and respect them. Decks that can never race me and just have to fatigue me. This one, I imagine, is going to change a lot over time as decks refine their lists to beat Gravy. I think early lists definitely didn't have the ability to race Gravy, and they just kind of had to pivot into fatiguing. So this is, we're gonna have to evaluate this one multiple times, I think. How much Arcane Barrier do I actually want in Divergence? Because as we saw in that game, AB 2 or 3 would have gone hard, but we're giving up on a lot of what our deck engine is trying to do. And this is the difficult thing, where Verdance can just fatigue us. And if we're playing AB 3 and they're playing to fatigue us, we look like an absolute fool with our AB on the table. How do I beat Fatigue without Humperdinck? And also, by extension, Limp. I don't understand conceptually how to beat those decks without this crutch. There's definitely a way to do it. If we look, Hamilton and Fang, I think it was, they were at the Battle Hardened and they played Gravy, and I believe this is their deck list. Someone sent this to me. No hump. Just no hump. One limp. How are they beating Fatigue without these tools? Is it because they have all these gold kisses and they're leaning into a different aspect of the deck? But they're also not playing a shitload of red go-against. They've got these two sloops down here, a couple swells. That's not a lot. So what is their plan to beat that matchup? We got to figure that kind of stuff out. And then kind of going into that thought, I think Limp is actually a really good card, but it's not actually good into every deck. Decks that just like pick it off for free, it's pretty bad into. So what decks do I actually want that in the deck for? The only thing I can think of at the moment is Guardian. We're going to fill that out as time goes. Do I actually need to be Royal in every matchup? This goes back to my thought earlier. I want to build this as a deck that just functions and it's always doing what it's trying to do. The Royal Hat lets me do that no matter what. I start the game, always being able to play the game. But Providence and Balance are pretty good in a number of matchups. I think Balance is incredible in the mirror, and it's also very good against Syndra. And if we go back to how I think I'm beating aggro decks, I'm trying to outvalue them, Balance is pretty good there. I think the Balance very frequently versus Syndra can be worth a full 8 value. I'm going to get a card off of it. Let's just say random card at the top of my deck is worth 3. I think on average it's probably worth more than 3 because I always get to look at the top of my deck. So it just means that anytime they draw 2 cards, every time I've looked at the top of my deck, it was a poop soup card. That would be the only spot where it's not worth 3 or more. But let's just easy math, say it's 3. I got 2 value from just defending with my hat, so we're at 5 value there. And I would say there's probably 1 turn during the game where you can find a spot to block with your hat and prevent a mask trigger. And if you do that, that's another 3 value probably by stopping them from drawing a card. Because, again, let's just easy math, call the top card of their deck 3. Just, they drew a head jab, whatever. So, again, if I'm trying to outvalue them, then by me getting a hat that starts in play that just gives me 8 value, that's incredible. That plays into my strategy. But it goes against my other thesis that I'm just trying to make sure my deck functions and plays the game. Similarly, against Assassin, Providence is really good for obvious reasons, but it also has play in the mirror, because I think one of the key parts of the mirror is trying to pivot off of your Conqueror of the High Seas. So just being able to Arsenal and just ignore their conk, the first one they play, is probably really good. Is that as good as drawing a free card? Who's to say? Can I get the deck to function with less reliance on Golden Tipple, and by extension, function on smaller hands? This is actually a section of this that I think I need to add. Kind of going with the assumptions category, weaknesses of the deck. I guess we'll expand on that in a second, and I'll add that right now. I think one of the weaknesses of the deck as it's built right now is if you have to block, but you also like don't have a board and you're like trying to find a spot to play the game, your small hands are really fucking bad. You've got a couple good small hands, like we talked about earlier. Call of the Grave, really good small hand. But a lot of your cards really demand that you're playing at least 3-card hands. Tipple, you need a pitch card, you need a card to discard, and you need the tipple itself. That's a 3-card hand. So playing 1 and 2-card hands seems very difficult to do in this deck because on the other end of the spectrum, we're trying to play a blue card to enable my graveyard to play my guys, but then I need a pitch card to play my guys. So finding ways where I'm less restrained on that, I think, is going to improve the power level of the deck. Things I need to work on. These are not quite questions, just like I know that this is a weakness of mine right now playing the deck, and I need to start working on this, and I'm going to add some notes to this as time goes on. I need some heuristics of when I'm supposed to use my compass. What am I supposed to Call of the Grave for, and why? Because right now my default with Call of the Grave is basically just always grabbing Chum or back alley breakline if I just don't need guys right now. Maybe similar idea, I grab a limp because I would rather similar idea of back alley getting me an action point. Putting a guy in play that has go again is very similar. So I need to figure out spots that I'm supposed to grab something else, and what am I thinking about when I'm doing that? Like, what is my reasoning behind that? When should I be using my Mage Master Boots? I've just been like using vibes of when I'm supposed to use my Mage Master Boots, and honestly doing something similar I did when I was playing Prism. I just used my Halo in Prism when I was learning her anytime it looked good, so I could know when it was bad. I wanted to get punished for using my Halo ignorantly, and it would teach me when that was wrong. That's kind of what I'm doing right now with Mage Masters. I'm just like ignorantly using the Mage Masters so I can figure out when that's wrong. So I need heuristics of when to do that. Other things I need to be working on is being mindful of when I should hook, especially if I should be hooking early. I found that there's a number of times that I play the deck that there's a turn where I end my turn and I go, you know, I probably should have hooked earlier. Like maybe I played 2 allies on the turn and I didn't swing with one of the allies, but my turn started with me attacking with a tipple. Probably should have attacked with a tipple and hooked the tipple. Or maybe I need to spread out my on hits so I'm not doubling up. Like maybe I'm going tipple into conk into, I don't know, loot the hold. So if I hook something other than the tipple, I'm doubling up on my on hits. Maybe that's a bad example because I'm probably guaranteed to get one of those on hits, but you understand what I'm trying to say. Kind of being more cognizant of how to space that out. And then thinking more strong ally pairs. And this kind of goes to like that opening thought that I had where I feel like I need to expand on this strong interactions section and add some more to this, because there's definitely more strong things that the deck does. So I need to find what all those strong things are so that way I can think about that down the road and lean into that during deck building. Now let's expand on what I was talking about earlier of weaknesses on the deck. Probably not going to add too much to this right now, because I'm just kind of spitballing while I'm live with you guys. What am I doing? Weaknesses. Bad small hands. Block poorly. Well, I cannot type. What else? Can get fatigued. What else is a weakness of the deck? Not a lot of armor. Action point starved. Weak to grave hate. That was one of my losses this past weekend at the 1K. I got I had a turn 0 where I went Tipple and Hero Power, and I put Sawbones and Chum in the grave, and then went to play Give No Quarter to play both of them on turn 0. I'm stupid lit. And I believe I also get to Arsenal a good card. And then he inverted both of them. It just completely bricked my turn. I pissed away my gold. It was so bad. I think that's all the weaknesses that I can really think of right now. Oh, I guess that's another question. Is the Fable actually good? Because it seems like people are really divided on whether or not they want to play the Fable. Okay, I think that's enough for now. I'm going to throw this in chat so you guys can take a look at it if you want. That's fair. I'm borrowing the eye right now because I just don't have one. What was I going to say? So yeah, I threw that in chat. If you guys want to follow around, this is going to be a living document where I'm going to be editing this and adding to it over time. In a month from now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to I'll probably do this on stream. I'll evaluate this and talk about what questions I've answered, figure out what I still don't have an answer for, what assumptions that I got wrong. Was there anything that I didn't see that, like, I learned something new about the deck? And with the learning something new, this goes into one of my pieces of homework that I have for myself. I'm going to be watching every damn Gravy game that has been streamed. I'm going to be adding to this as time goes. This is my homework of things that I need to watch. And like you saw with that game that we were just watching earlier, I'm going to be evaluating the game and talking about the different plays that they make and trying to figure out why they're doing things, and if I disagree with them, maybe try to figure out why I disagree with it and why they thought it was correct, because maybe I'm the one that's wrong. You know, I want to figure out why they thought that was a good idea. And my assumption right now especially is they know more than I do about the deck. I may be like 10 games into the deck. Like, I have not actually played that many games with Gravy. Probably apparent if you watched me on stream. I'm not very good at the deck yet. But this is going to be my home for the foreseeable future. I really enjoy this deck. It seems... it's I think this is the most fun I've had playing Fab in a while, learning how to play this deck and trying to solve the deck puzzle. It's a very deep deck, and in both the deck building and in the gameplay, and there's so many different ways that you can play. We were in Discord the other night, and we were doing what we call hydraing, where one person's playing and we're all kind of talking about the game. And I think every single person in the room at the time wanted to play the hand differently almost every turn. And none of us knew who was right, and which I think is really interesting. There's so many different ways that you can play all the different hands in Gravy, and they all look really good, which clearly there's got to be a best answer to all these things, but it's so deep figuring that out. I really like that. I think they did a great job designing this hero as far as that goes. Any questions? Any comments, chat? Anything you guys want to talk about in regards to this? Oh, apparently we got some card images also for the new set. This is blurry as fuck. Bro, I ain't reading that shit. Also, am I the only one that's surprised that we're going back to heavy hitters already? That is not what I thought we were doing. I don't know. I didn't really care for heavy hitters. I thought that set was incredibly boring. Okay, so let's talk about the deck list that we're gonna start with today. I've been blowing up the deck every couple days, to be honest. So this is probably going to change by the next time you guys see me. The meta is one thing. The set itself is another. Like, did you enjoy the heavy hitters draft format or the heroes from heavy hitters in CC? I didn't. I thought the draft was really boring. It's traditional Fab draft. It was shit, and I don't know. None of the heroes really jumped out at me. I wanted to like Kasai, and then I played her, and she was just so boring. Just weapon go again, weapon pass, honk shoe. Weapon go again, weapon pass. Me. It's just so boring. And Guardian's Guardian. You know, it's tough too. Where it's like I'm a little biased. It's two classes that you're never going to catch me dead playing. Okay, so here's the deck list. I'm going to make a couple tweaks before we start playing because I want to try out a couple things as well. We're experimenting with Balance of Justice. I haven't played with this yet, but I want to try it out. We're experimenting with Fiddler's Green. I played a couple games into Syndra, and this has seemed pretty good. You just discard it to your hero power. It's just really powerful. You just try to out-trade them. And then, functionally, these are just swapping with the sea legs in different matchups. So, like, we just have an extra set of cards in the deck that we're trying to discard to our hero power. We got some limps in the side, just for the decks that these are good into. I think I'm going to shave one or two of them for some just, like, random cards to throw on our side to try out. Like, I want to try out some of the other allies and just play more games with them, see if I like them. Like Scooby-Doo. Scooby-Doo seems really good in the mirror. What else is worth talking about? I think I might end up cutting another Whaler at some point. We're trying AB1. This is going to be... I'm going to play AB1 until I get punished for playing AB1. And I need to see when that's bad. Give no quarters maybe on the chopping block, especially if we're trimming down on Whalers. But we got the Swabbies to go with it, so... we're going max copies of Tipple. This card, it again, goes to our thesis of an engine piece. Trying out the Gold Fable still. I've been impressed with it. I've liked the card. But similar to the Give No Quarter, it seems like a lot of people are down on these two cards, so maybe they get cut. We're going Loot the Hold. This has seemed really good into Syndra. When I was playing the matchup without this, it seemed pretty difficult. I just needed, like, a few more cards in the deck that were good in that matchup. Trying Max Tip the Barkeeps. One other thing that I guess I am going to then add to my notes thing over here is I really want to try making as many cards as possible functionally be good ponder tokens, if that makes sense. You draw on your own turn a lot, and I want to make sure that as often as possible the random cards that are being drawn on my turn are going to be good cards to go in Arsenal. Like, I play a Tipple, and the card that I draw is going to go in Arsenal because I don't need extra resources to play out any of my guys. I already have a blue in hand that I'm planning on playing to turn on my hero power. So it basically, if I draw an ally, I'm going to activate my hero power, draw again. So I'm looking to draw either a blue or a red to put in my arsenal, which means that I want all my blues and reds to be good arsenals, because it's either an ally to discard or it's a card to put in arsenal. That is one of the reasons that I just recently cut Sunken Treasure. I was playing that this weekend, and I kept drawing this off of Tipple, and it felt like it was butt cheeks. It just... Basically, every time I drew, like, a random blue, that was kind of a shit card to draw if I am planning on arsenaling a random card off the top of my deck. It would price me into cracking my gold to try to draw out of it. And then I just piss away all my gold, and I really didn't like that play pattern. I don't mind having to do that sometimes, but, like, being forced to do that anytime I drew one of these cards was just really shit. Same thing can happen with the Fiddler's Greens, so I need to be careful with that, so that way I'm not, like, activating Hero Power on my opponent's turn, or activating Hero Power on my turn, discarding a guy, and then drawing into this, and then I just look like a fool. I think that's about everything that I want to talk about with the deck, so let's just jump into some games. Let's see, 6 o'clock, so probably get a game or two in before I got to do the podcast. And then all these buttons, I think, are broken. Bolton, interesting. Okay, so what do we want to do against Bolton? He's probably trying to kill us and farm on hits into allies. This is probably really good when he does his big turn. Oops, wrong button. There we go. D-React is really good. Fiddler seems decent. Limpet's bad. Scoopy actually has text. Don't think I need any of these guys. Need to shave a couple cards. Probably not that important in this matchup. Whatever, just cut this guy and I don't know, a random tipple, I guess. Send it. Okay, we got a good arsenal. Makes a quicken. Draw a card. Do I play this, or do I just play the chum and pass? I think I just play the chum and pass, because if I don't draw blue here, then I can't play the chum. I guess I should have compassed there. Okay, so that's a mistake on my part. I should have compassed to see if I would draw blue. We have a tipple, but nothing to discard. We can't activate him. We can conk. Nothing we can do about this, so this just happens. I guess I want to draw an ally here. Oh, that's a pretty good. Look at the top. Flying high. Not very good. I guess we just play the conch and the tip the barkeep, huh? Did he IP? Hey man, how's it going? What did he charge? Make a courage token? Okay. Oh, Iron Song doesn't trigger on allies. That's why he didn't make a thing last turn. Still no guys. This is for 5? Actually, I want to peek the top. Ooh. It's going to go so hard. I think I just cash in my value on this. No, but he like has other on hits and stuff that he could play. If that's the case, then what are we doing with our turn? I guess calling for something? Are we just calling for chum? If that's the case, then we like block with one of these cards and arsenal one of them. So like block with the flying high, pitch this to play chum, arsenal the other tipple. There's no on hit on this, right? Yeah. Okay, if that's the case, then I'll block your next thing. This does not have go again, right? Just take my value, I guess. Hopefully we draw some allies. Kind of not really playing the game right now. Hopefully we draw some allies. That'd be nice. That'd be quite nice. Oh, is this the big turn? Yep, it's the big turn, so might be booting here. Maybe not, if he's just gonna smork this guy. 3, 4, 5. This is for 8? I mean, at least you get 8 damage. And you currently only have 1 card in soul. Hero Power, discard Sawbones. Kind of don't want to take 9. I think I just block with this. No, he's going to give it go again and swing his weapon, and the weapon's going to be for 5. Block with, like, both of these for 5. Kind of sucks just pitching this, but I don't want to give him the token. Maybe that's wrong. This being a yellow did suck here. How are we giving this go again? You have a reaction? He must have a reaction. He put this in his soul. Makes sense. You get to farm on hits on allies. I mean, whatever. I'll just activate this. Doesn't really matter. Also, like, what a meme Charge is. They gave us Secum when Charge exists. What a fucking meme. This does not have go again. Okay. Okay, that makes sense. Didn't activate his gloves. Another? Okay. What do we have on top? Hoiston. Do we commit the quick dodge here? Is currently getting 3 value if we use it, 4 if he plays card in hand. then we can play Rabble, play Oyston next turn. Let this resolve. Clicking too fast. Do we commit the dead threads here? I think so. If we have a guy on top, I mean, I'm just not blocking this. Whatever. Yeah, I'm not playing around Razor Reflex. Whatever, man. You pitched a red. Like, it wasn't that good. It's still a 3-card 10. It's not that good. If he has another thing, I guess he's him. Sorry, I want to peek the top. I want to look at... Okay, so we have a Rabble. So we can Arsenal the Tipple. Pitch to gold. Pitch to play conch. Play the Rabble. Play the Oyston. That seems good. Just take this, whatever. Do we just conch first? Because both of these are getting pitched no matter what. Yeah. Because I want to hook something this turn. I just don't know if I'm hooking this. I don't think I hook this, because if he just blocks out with armor, then I look like a fool. We didn't sideboard out that many allies, right? I feel like we've drawn very ally light this game. so good at the game. That was what? 8. What was that? 14 on offense, gain 1 health off of 3 cards. Alright. Pretty good deck. Bro, where are our allies? Please kill this. Of course. What the heck is this? It's not a quicken, it's a chicken. His hand doesn't actually do anything, which is the shitty part. So, like, if he kills us, we don't actually have a turn. That sucks. Well, we don't have a turn anyways, so. Oh, but we have gold now. We can play the game. But we can't play it. I think we want that in our hand. Discard one of them, play the other. We don't have dead threads, so this isn't a clean play. Play the Avasti. I don't think I ever block this. Show me non-hit. That is not it. That was a 3-card 6. Okay, so this is for 4? Do I care? I don't think so. I kind of want to just play everything here. Oh, it's only 3? Could just block with us. Oh, am I getting juiced? Oh, okay. No juicery, just a good card. We need to play a blue still. I think we go hero power and then look at the top. That's pretty good. Yeah, I guess it's always look here. It's a pretty good arsenal. I gotta remember to hook also. If I play this, I still need to pitch another card. We gotta play a blue. I could play this, draw. This doesn't actually accomplish anything, though. I think just cracking a gold to draw a card is better. This is a turn that the dead threads would have been nice to have. Oh, we get 2 gold? We're so rich. Well, good thing we got a tipple in arsenal and a tipple in hand. Imagine if you chose draw a card here. With this hand, I'm definitely activating it. Buff power? Me? We don't have a dead threads anymore, so it doesn't matter doing it now versus doing it later. I think given how many allies, we're not doing the gold kiss. So I just want to be able to defend. That's pretty good. Play this. Pitch this. We don't have a blue that we played this turn, though. Look at the top. It's a rigor mortis because we're nice like that. I guess we just blow up the top. Probably the most damage we'll be able to blunt this turn is this. I think we have a Fiddler's Green left in the deck. Gotta be a little careful about drawing that here. So in that case, we can just pitch the Rigor Mortis. pretty good. Play Chum, I guess. Alternatively, play Rigamortis. Not Rigamortis. Play Oyston, swing Anka. This is more damage. I think that's better. Like, even if this hits a red here, swinging the Anka is more damage. And then if we have to block out, we still have a free attack. Oh! Also, this makes it profitable for him to clear a guy if he has like an on-hit draw card. So like playing the Chum into the Nimblism is pretty bad. Man, we're gonna end this game never using this Gold Kiss. He still has Illumina left. I don't think we defend this. He has 3 soul. Pump, pump. So this is coming in for 7. Just do this now. I kind of want to use the Gold Kiss, but... I don't care about this. We'll block if there's an on-hit. I think I want to defend with one of these. He didn't gloves. I want to know if this is going to hit. No, but that's a hit in a different way. That changes things. Because we'll draw it off of this. So keeping both blues is pretty good here, but then we don't really do shit with these. I could also just crack gold with one of them. You still can't kill us from this range. How much is the reaction pump by? 3? 3. It's probably block the next thing with one card and be sad, but such is life. No go again. Oh. Just to get this out of the way because we already did it. So we have to defend this or we would die to the reaction. I think we hook this. Maybe not. I kind of want the gold now. Do you want to give me your tunic on 3? 877 cash now. Oh! I'm rich. This will leave me with 1 floating. I think I crack another gold here. Because then that gives me money to do what? This leaves me with 2 monies. I guess 1 money is the same. I guess that was a waste of gold. I can crack another to Gamba on another blue to get an arsenal. And now we can play the loot if we want also. No, we can't. But I can crack a gold here. So I get an arsenal and swing with the Anka. Oh, we got a gold? I was not expecting to get a gold there. Ugh. Okay, so there was a spot where he drew 2 cards. Where if we had balance, it actually would have been nice. And I feel like we won this game off of... where is it? This. I feel like we won by outvaluing him, so I think we're within the thesis there. And that was like a pretty awkward draw on our part too, I think. We just like couldn't get online all game. But we had our boots that generated a shitload of value. We gained 9 life for free off of the fiddlers, extending the game. And like, hey, we ended at 6. If we did not play those fiddlers, we would be deceased. Did any questions get answered? I made 1 gold kiss and I never used it. But that's also because I'm playing the fiddlers where I'm overtaxing my hero power a bit. I feel like Bolton can race me. Would Limpet have been good here? He had nothing that profitably cleared it for, like, the 1. So I think we're still getting, like, 6 value out of the Limpet. It's like a 1 for 6 go again, essentially. But it wasn't like we were trying to flood the board. So the go again would have just meant that we, like, attack for 2 go again and played another guy, and then they just would have killed the other guy. So if we keep the Limpet, then it gives us some chip damage. I don't know if that would have been good. I think the Oyston is better in this matchup. Just free guy to attack with that helps with my gold economy. So I don't think it would have been good here. Do they have any other effects that draw, though? E-Strike, maybe? It's really just like, do they double up on a Bolt Snatch, I think? Because I don't think they have any other way to draw a card. Having the boots for, like, the big turn, though, was really clutch. I think the boots choice was really good against this deck. I think us fighting over that Lumina is probably what won us the game. That and the Fiddlers. We just, like, nickeled and dimed him with the Fiddlers. And also he had some inefficient turns, but that's just, like, Bolton things. Gaining life is really good. That's, like... It's one of the things that made Dromai really good. You functionally gained a lot of life because of you playing all the allies, and it's the same concept here. You're playing guys. The games aren't going the same way, though, as it would for Enigma and Dromai, but one of the things that you could do with those heroes is by you functionally gaining life, you'd hit the second cycle of the deck, and because your deck is casting its pitch cards, you're still about as strong on second cycle as you are on first cycle, where other decks have played through their good cards, so they get weaker over the course of the game. And that's also the card design back then. Like, the card design right now has more heroes that ramp up in power over the course of the game. And there's still heroes that get weaker over the course of the game, but there's more heroes now than there were back then that get stronger over the course of the game. So you would take advantage of that by extending the game. And by being an ally deck, once their hands start getting worse, it makes it harder for them to clear your guys. So life gain, extending the game as an ally deck is typically pretty good. You got modality, though, with your life gain in those decks, though, because they were also enablers for your engine. Like, you'd play a Sigil and you'd attack with your board. Never had a chance to play Loot the Hold. Blood on the Water was insane this game. One of the Bloods was worth 7, the other one was worth 6. But that was just us getting lucky. If that didn't happen, though, we would be at 3. We would be at 1 if those didn't both hit something off the top of our deck. Our Rabbles hitting randomly off the top was also pretty lucky. Throwing away the chest seemed like it was fine. That was another question. Call of the Grave. Was there anything else that was worth us searching for this game with Call of the Grave? I just went with my heuristic of grab Chum, but also we didn't really have anything going on in those hands. So, like, I just wanted a resource dump. We didn't have the money to grab a Humperdinck, but that would have been fine there. Like, if the call was an Arsenal, I probably would have grabbed a Hump. Sawbones would have been worse, I think. Maybe? It's worth... Yeah, it's 1 point less. It's 6 on offense and 3 on defense, versus the Chum being 4 on offense and then 6 on defense. I don't think we had anything else that was worth calling for. I had to go back and watch my footage, but there's definitely a couple turns where like maybe we could have compassed differently. Let's expand on this compass thing. Okay, so let's write down all the cards that make us reevaluate whether or not we're supposed to compass. So hero power is the obvious one. I want to play a card that's going to change the cards in my hand, so Tipple. I care about what's on top of my deck right now. I just call it this. The all the like kill the top card of your deck cards. What is it? This. I just call these Watery Boost. So I'm just gonna write Watery Boost because this is for me. Yep, Saltwater Swell. Same idea, Chart. I'm going to use my hat this turn if I'm playing Balance or Prov. Does Portside change anything? I feel like most of the time Portside doesn't, but we're going to put a question mark next to that. And I'm going to think about that just like in me doing daily tasks over the next day. We have gold in play. This kind of changes it. And this is the one that confuses me, or I don't know how to conceptualize whether or not I'm supposed to do it before or after yet. And I really need to spend more time thinking about it and kind of get feels for it. Call to the grave. Like, technically, if you have a call, there's got to be a right answer whether or not you're supposed to compass before or after playing the call. I think it's worth writing some combinations here also. Yeah, Rabble. We'll put Rabble with Chart and Swell since that's like a cast it right now. I care if there's a blue on top. Any of the ones that care about 2 blues in my pitch, in combination with Cracking Gold. So Conk / Sloop with Cracking Gold. Like, I might look at my hand and go, I have 2 blues and a conch. But I don't... But I kind of want to play one of these blues so I can play a guy from the bin. So it might be better for me to draw off of gold, play a blue, because I'm going to draw blue off of gold, and now I have another blue to pitch to play my conch. Where if I don't have a blue on top, I need to make a different play, but having that information lets me make a better play. It's like pretty plus EV to crack gold there. Do any of the allies change it? Maybe. I find myself not really activating Chum and Anka too much, though, and I can't really think of a spot where that would matter. Like, the only thing I could think of would be, like, I could choose between playing an Anka or a Rigor Mortis, and I'm playing a matchup where the Anka here, text actually could be relevant. So I'm going to look at the top to see if the top card of my deck is an ally for next turn. That seems dubious that I would actually make that play. I don't think I would choose to not play an Anka in a matchup that Anka's good in, just because 1 out of 4 cards on top of my deck is not an ally. I would just still play the card and just say whatever, man. I'm not saying it doesn't come up. I'm walking through that situation. Like, I'm picking between two allies, and my decision is based off of the top card of my deck for my next hand. I'm not making that play. Like, I'm just gonna play it because it's the correct guy, and just mathematically, there's likely an ally in my next hand. Like, I'll still look probably if it makes sense to look there, but I'm not gonna. If I see if Anka's good in the match, like this is all the assumption Anka's good in the matchup, right? We're assuming we're playing a deck that's good into, because otherwise this doesn't matter. If I look at the top of my deck and I see it's just a random card like a blue, am I not going to play the Anka now? Probably not. Because the other thing is, usually in those spots, I'm just going to play the ally that uses my resources the best a lot of the time, because I want to do it while I'm flush on resources. Like, oh, I have $3. I pitched a blue, I played a tipple, I have 2 floating, and I can use dead threads. I'm just going to play the Anka because it uses 3 money. The Rigor Mortis only uses 2 money, so I'm going to do that on a turn where I only had 2 money. And I'm going to try to space that out so I use my money better. Now, we can... I'll write that down so we can come back to that. Because maybe there's a spot where that I can't consider that's good in. But that's the only spot I could really think of. Okay, but think about that. Like, would I have an Anka in play. I do not have an ally in hand. Would I really activate hero power to draw an ally, to discard not that ally, but a random card in my hand, then discard the ally to my Anka? I'm trading 2 cards for their 1. I think my opponent goes sick, I played a Mind Rot. Like, maybe it's a weird spot where, like, I just need to keep my opponent off that card, but I can't really think of what that would be. Maybe against Prism, where I'm not using all my cards anyways because I'm under ALS. Again, this is incredibly niche. I'm going to put it down so I can think of if there's maybe a spot where I would do it. See, I don't think I would do that for Chum either. Unless I'm playing into Azalea or something, and they just went, like, 3 pumps and loaded an arrow. Like, okay, I guess I'll take a peek. Sure, I'll eat your entire turn. But from the Azalea POV, you just wouldn't play the hand like that if they have a Chum in play. From the Azalea POV, you would either go pump, go again arrow, kill the Chum, or pump, arrow, snap, pump, arrow from something else and play your turn. Or just block and just play a 2-card hand to kill the Chum. Like, I'm not going to time walk myself into the Chum as the Azalea. But that's giving the Azalea opponent a lot of credit. Not even that. Like, a small amount of credit. Sure, if my Azalea opponent said no blocks, play 4 pumps, yeah, I'll make that play. But this is me saying if my opponent is a reasonable human being, they're not going to make that play. But if they did, that's definitely a reason I would do that. So let's jot some notes down to that. I have no idea how to spell this guy. A-N-K-A. A-N... I had the letters. A-N-K-A. I agree. And I think it's worth even just putting this down so I can think of if there's other situations. Because this could be something really niche where I find a situation that comes up and maybe this matters. Like I'm not discrediting it. I'm not saying it's a bad idea or something. But I can't think of very many spots right now that I would actually make that play. Anka? Anka? I need to make a video about tempo at some point. Oh god, what did I just click on? Okay, whatever, it went away. Yeah, for sure. Because like a lot of this is where I don't know if you saw the stuff earlier. We're gonna come back and reevaluate the stuff in like a month or so. So opinions might change on things too. Maybe I come back to this and go, you know what? I did have a game where that came up. Like, what if stopping them from drawing a card stops them from playing the thing that I know that they have, and I IP them? I can't think of a spot where that would matter, but okay. What if I did that into Prism, and I know they have an ALS, and if I make them discard a card, they don't have enough money to play the ALS anymore, and now my next turn is killing their Shariah, and I bricked their turn. That's relevant. That's a really niche situation that could come up. I think that just about covered everything that I can at least think of. Can you guys think of any other cards that would make me consider? I'm not going to write the fucking prevent 1, 2, or 3 damage card. I don't care about that. It's not important. Oh, I got it. What if I want to hero power to discard a blue so that way I can play Guy from Grave? Like, remember earlier where I just like played out the Oyston? Maybe I have an Oyston in the bin and I blocked out. I'll look at the top of my deck. If it's a blue, maybe I hero power play the Oyston, swing for 3. I just got a true actual 0 card 4. But I think Anka is honestly pretty close to Chum in that regard. Because I think, equally, there's not as many spots that I would want to do that with Chum either. Like, I don't actually think Chum's activated ability is supposed to come up in most games. Because most of the time, my opponent just fucking kills him. And they're just like, whatever, I'm not going to play this sub-game. I'm just going to kill Chum. The only times that I find myself activating Chum is when my opponent does some weird shit where they, like, don't block and then activate their grasp. And it's like, their plan for the turn was to play a swarming at my face and then felling at my Chum. And by me activating Chum, I eat the swarming. But opponent just shouldn't make that play. They should just not do that and just block with the swarming. So if they are going to make that play, that probably means they have 2 swarmings. And they're going to activate Grasp, go swarming, swarming, Reaping Blade my face. But as I said, from the Azalea POV, you shouldn't just be going pump, pump, pump. Ah, shit, they activated Chum. Like, you just shouldn't be making that play. I realize you might not have that choice always as a ranger, but still. cannot speak for Marlin. I never played as or against that hero in Classic Constructed. Okay, so it's 7:20 right now. Podcast starts at 8. I do not want to commit to another game. I plan on streaming again. What's today? Tuesday? On Thursday. I think for now, I'm going to work on some of this homework until the podcast starts, if you guys would like to join me for that. Otherwise, that's the end of playing games. We're going to just talk through some of the games here. I think I'm going to pick one of the ones that was interesting to me, though. Because I'm probably going to watch a lot of this on my own, not with you guys. So I would like to pull up one that was like pretty interesting. Like maybe the Canadian Nationals Finals is worth talking about. If you guys have an opinion and you've seen any of these, please let me know. I'm going to hit the restroom really quick. I will be back in like 1 minute.
decline at least one ally in the hand and a couple blue 3 blocks.
So not the best, but not the worst defending hand. And, of course, the Crown of that Lucas has as well. That'll be pretty good.
Crown of Providence was in his list, but not in the mirror is a pretty interesting thing to learn.
Yeah, for sure. Of course, Blue Dragon. No, he's not so bad.
Dragon Power is kind of the ideal Draconic Ninja Blue.
Yeah, one of the better ones. Attacking with both daggers here.
Likely to flick on this turn.
Yeah, hot on their heels.
Jordan's opener contains decides.
The Rat don't always want to play it out on that turn.
Yeah,
so
interesting that he
cycle with only one. Dagger. I hope Lucas doesn't threaten his arsenal too much with something like a Conquer of High Seas or a Command and Conquer.
No Command and Conquer to speak of, but his hand does have some action. He's got a couple blues and a Swiftwater Sloop, but unfortunately, no gold to speak of in this opening hand. Gonna take a look at the top with the compass, but he doesn't really have any way to access those cards on the top. Possible we see him just resolve a chum and pass, throwing him into the fray to be eaten alive like the chum that he is by the piranhas of Syndra's attacks.
And
Instead,
no, it's going to be a Sea Legs for 6.
Sorry, actually makes sense. I'll do something.
Okay, no, that costs 3, so
Sea Legs
yellow
does
does
cost
not.
3.
It was a 2 for 6.
Imagine if it was a 2 for 6.
2 for 6, very good.
Yeah, yeah.
For 6, so
About or
I have to imagine Jordan has any interest. Interest in blocking definitely seems within his expect.
I was muted. I'm sorry. Nope, you're right. Sorry. Now I look like a fool. Yeah, I was just saying, I don't know if I agree with this play. He IP'd a Sunken Treasure to turn on, like, his hero or kill a dagger. I'm not sure what he's going to decide here. I don't know. I don't know if that's the play. But that is the life that you live when you present that helmet. I guess important to note, what is his tipple setup? Let's pull up Fabric. Dex tournament. Lucas? Lucas. So he's on 8 tipples. Port sides. 1 Oyston. Yeah, that seems kind of dubious, but if he's doing it to kill the dagger, it's a mix of 8 and 9 between the different people in the Canadian Nationals. He's only on 2 reds. So we'll have to see what he does here when he defends with it. If he's killing a dagger, then I have to assume from his testing he thinks that getting the dagger, both daggers off the board is how he wins this game. And he's playing towards causing the Syndra's engine to fall apart. Because if he's playing for a value game, this doesn't make any sense. But I think if that's how you're trying to play the game, then maybe you pick the a different helmet so you can play the game on your side. I'm not really sure. That's interesting.
Did range. Lucas also pressure.
This sunken treasure going to be slammed out. You know,
yup.
We'll actually strip a card from Jordan here to protect that other kunai. Thinking about his life choices, knows that Arsenal card is pretty good.
Threatening to take a kunai away from Jordan here, which is why they're pausing on this trigger. You'd think he might just turn a yellow over for a gold, but if he can take one of Jordan's daggers away for the rest of the game, he can put him in a tough spot.
I guess he gets to respond to this, and then you could just choose the sea legs instead, right?
Into activating Syndra in response to Sunken Treasure's defense trigger here.
With the Ignite discount, it would cost him 1.
But trading a Sunken Treasure for an entire card.
Oh, man. Oh, I guess he can make the dollar. I was going to say, imagine he does that to pick up the dagger, but then leaves that in there. But I guess if he's going to do it this way, that makes sense. Flick, make a dollar. It's functionally free. Pick up both daggers. That's actually pretty good.
Pretty good. Means this card blocked 6. And since you don't have to choose until the resolution of Sunken Treasure's trigger, he gets to put Jordan in a little bit of a
I think I forgot to make a
a
goal doing that when I played against a Syndra this weekend, where I did that to get his dagger, and then he just picked up the dagger. But I could have turned over one of my own things, I think. I missed out on a gold there.
Not only is he not going to be able to buy it back and be put in a similar position the next time he draws a Sunken Treasure, he's also just going to get to choose his yellow sea legs for a gold in his yard anyways.
I think it'll cost him 1, right? Because it has to fully resolve.
Yeah, the players are clarifying. The on-attack trigger does...
Oh, yeah, we're not even in reactions yet, so he can't even flick.
The next Draconic action that Jordan takes will be discounted. That includes a hero ability. So
Yeah.
Pay 1, which is still a fairly high cost. To get the dagger.
Card out of Jordan's hand here is brutal.
And the interesting thing is, you know, does Jordan's game plan in this matchup revolve around having out the sea leg?
It's not very good.
So House of Card. Okay, gonna choose to pitch the Blood Runs Deep.
Yeah, that card's not very good without 2 daggers.
Yeah, exactly. You really need to protect that dagger and then maybe try to draw into something like that later.
I'm not targeting. I'm choosing. Yeah, I'm choosing.
Yeah.
Where did you put the sea legs?
Yeah, Blood Runs Deep.
Yeah, that card's not very good.
It goes to the bottom of the... Oh, no. I'm
Exactly.
thinking of Scoop.
Really need to protect that
Scoop goes to
dagger
the bottom,
and
right?
then maybe try to draw into something like that later.
I'm not targeting. I'm choosing. Yeah, I'm choosing.
Yeah. Free, but not having that, eating the Ignite trigger.
Yeah, this being worth 2 cards was pretty good. You IP'd and then made him IP, but I don't know. I might just let the dagger go. I don't know.
Having to pitch another card. This is, you know, could be like a 6 value, 7 value turn from Jordan.
Looks like he's going to flick and put the dagger immediately back in the graveyard. Not ready for Lucas's hand of just 7 copies of Sunken Treasure.
Yep. Second Sunken Treasure here would be both funny and depressing, I think.
He's like, no, please.
Actually better, I feel like. So we have.
I just
Said
Blocking
Here's
Conk
a
is
little
interesting.
I don't even matter, but I'll be honest.
couple keeps his pick of the litter to Arsenal.
What did he Arsenal?
A little bit.
I don't even matter, but I'll be honest.
Which
I guess we'll see.
Overall for Lucas, Jordan gets to go back to his turn.
Is it another
with a pretty tough hand here.
Conk?
He's got Wrath in his arsenal, but he's stuck with an Oath of...
Yeah, I don't know if that matters. I'm not saying that's wrong. I don't actually know, having not played this matchup enough. I'm just pointing out that I might have let it die, but that's like a what does your experience with the matchup say? Also, hey, Ethnic. Is it Wrath and Arsenal?
Go back to his turn.
Jordan with a pretty
I guess that makes sense. What?
Canberry is that Wrath in his arsenal, but he's stuck with a
Based.
loyalty and non-draconic cards here with no fealty on the board, and a blue, which kind of prices him in. Oh, the two
Fine. I suspect what he might be going for.
It's just raw dogging it.
Swing with the daggers, then flick them after.
Does he not have a starter?
Later, and use Syndra to recur the daggers and then swing them again.
I would say I'd just wait to have some starters or something to cost reduce this, but I understand not trying to sit on an arsenal in this matchup when Conk exists, especially when opponent blocked with the Conk and arsenal to card. Like, surely the card in arsenal is either another Conk or better, and I don't know what's better than a Conk. Yeah, it makes sense if exactly Wrath is the arsenal. You're like, all right, whatever. I literally have the Wrath right now, and I already committed to arsenaling it.
So he's going to end with 0 daggers at the end of this turn, and that'll let him arsenal the Oath of Loyalty as a starter.
He can't really afford that, though. His Syndra ability is going to cost him 2 this turn, right?
And
Flattered Vest.
Yeah, it would be pretty funny to.
He is missing out on a value here by not blocking with his boots,
though.
though.
Or, oh yeah, no, this is going to be the turn that we're going to convert the quick dodge flexors to some defensive value.
I'm surprised he didn't quick dodge on Chainlink 1.
Now Jordan going to run out this Fire Tenet. Another 3 blocking the combat chain. We're going to flick that.
This quick dodge is interesting. I guess you just quick dodge all the daggers and move on with life. But I want
maybe considering
more. I'm greedy.
Blood splattered vest will make the resource. Now can't afford to activate Syndra.
Yeah, I agree. I don't know what I would grab if it. I don't know what I would choose to put in arsenal that isn't Conk.
Playing one of the other cards first. Nope.
Yeah, using the resource to buy back. He has 2 Draconic Chain Links, though one is invisible since the Kunai has left the chain.
Yeah, and the previous act did hit, so he's trying to continue this Mask of Momentum train. Now there's going to be 3 go again because of the Fire Tenet First Strike trigger, giving the next Draconic attack +1.
Just block gloves, I guess.
Yeah,
second chain link for Mask as well.
And that's relevant here because we can see that it'd be easy for Lucas to block 2 on this with just that 1 floating resource for Rigor Mortis. So 3 asking for another 3 block.
Not super. It's going to threaten here for 4.
Wait, he didn't.
Will come in for 2.
What is the point of this quick dodge if we're just not going to use it? What are we doing? Like, these boots are insane. Use them. Just pitch cards, man. And, like, you can gravy here to activate Dead Threads if you had another ally in your hand, which assumedly is why you're pitching an ally. Like, I want to get 8 value out of these boots. This also, like, you just go gloves plus boots, and you don't have to deal with Mask ever again this turn. He can't Ancestral Empowerment this, right? I just don't want to have to play around anything and let him draw an extra card.
Through is going to threaten here for 4. Not a Draconic attack, though.
4 power attack with go again.
Lucas has 4.
One of their power cards might be good to get maximum value out of your equipment.
Power cards and a fair bit of resources, too. Sinking to find another card to put in his hand. Let's see what he draws.
We'll never know what the arsenal was.
I couldn't see it at all. My bad.
Now covering 4 on this cut through. No Ancestral Empowerment.
I just don't think that you win this matchup by blocking.
Giving the boots here, getting a couple extra swings in, but that also plays well.
I just want to get my 8 value of boots and move on with life, and
does he really want to trade?
I don't care about anything else.
A dagger on board or not having access to those boots for a card, and the answer is no. He's just gonna pass.
Lucas pass an arsenal that 4 power.
Oh, our boots only got 4 value. What are we doing? No. No.
And just a pretty aggressive line from Lucas. You're able to convert that Enlightened Strike just as a 2-card 7. Pretty good.
Keeping up on rate against Syndra a little bit, though it cost him a fair bit of armor.
Jordan was thinking about blocking with the boots in case he could use them in the near future, but then maybe considering also that, oh, there's other unhits in this deck.
There are real unhits in the deck, yeah, like Loot the Hold. Does just cash it in for value, maybe looking to use it on this turn. Does have a Lava Burst in hand.
Is going to start with that Oath of Loyalty. That will be the Draconic starter in this case. Doesn't need to pitch into the daggers.
Lucas taking 4 down to 25.
Display Loyalty. That's going to make a previous hand turn.
It'll just have been
Or maybe take the side.
level and a gold-baited hook. This will probably buy the first Flick Knives of the turn. Going to 0 daggers means he'll have 2 when he activates Syndra later in the turn. Maybe content to just arsenal the 1 cost. 2 breaking.
I don't think I block Mask this turn. If unless I have a 4 block somewhere in here, I don't. So like, from Jordan's POV, if he's attacking with a 4 here, it's because he has something bigger than 4 after it. Because he already knows this is a Mask trigger here. If he has a head jab, he just plays the head jab here. Because his opponent has to block the head jab. And then you flick on the head jab. Then he plays the 4, and now it's more awkward to defend against. So, like, this is just... if you think you can stop the Mask, you block 3 here, and then block 4 on the next thing, if you're actually trying to stop Mask. Unless you have a D-React.
Point. The Lava Burst.
I love this. It's also going to be a 1 for 4, 1 for 5.
This is kind of an interesting position Jordan's in here, because by floating 1 resource, he tells Lucas that there is a follow-up to this Lava Burst, whether it connects or not. But if he goes the other way and uses the resource immediately, he kind of doubles up on hits, and Lucas gets a ton of value by blocking out the breaking point, and then just gladly, he's likely to lose his arsenal to this Lava Burst, or to this breaking point immediately following this Lava Burst.
Yeah, so both pieces of equipment being fully cashed in by Jordan here. Got the 1 block value, gave go again to the Lava Burst.
Yeah, this block like really sucked from us. And now we can't block Mask ever again. We pissed away all of our armor.
You got enough Draconic Chain Links, might as well activate Syndra's hero ability before you can Sunken Treasure me.
I bet Lucas wishes the last card in his hand was Sunken Treasure.
In the
Using Gravy to arsenal, Lucas was still in. Oof, he had an ally stuck in hand, just using the dead threats to put Rigor Mortis on the board, which might just feed Jordan a Mask of Momentum trigger.
Yeah, this Oath of Loyalty does have to go face
I don't like
first,
the
though,
sloops in this
but 4 is
matchup
still pretty
either.
hard to block, and I think I saw another couple of allies in Lucas's hand. He's going to look at the top card of the deck. When we said uphill battle for Lucas in this matchup, this plan
forces him into and putting him in an
this other Rising Resent, but also banish, get that activated ability or triggered ability. However, it's just
oh lord, he rising.
Ripped off the top. We're just playing 3.
Trigger was,
and Jordan doesn't believe in arsenals. Swiftwater's
down to 6, just casting and passing on Sawbones.
cards.
Yeah.
Trip. And
Just
again,
blocking and bleeding out. Like you can't beat Ninja by blocking and bleeding out. You have to make progress. There's nothing else to see here this game. That's really unfortunate. He just needed to, I think, play that conch earlier. What was that conch hand? It's this hand, right? Okay, we get a good look at the hand here.
How much does the Spreading Flame?
It's a tipple. It's a red tipple. That's why he arsenaled that. Because it didn't block well. I think I'd probably take a peek at the top, figure out if it's a blue. If it's a blue, I might just crack gold, play the conch. I just want to play the conch and tell Jordan to fuck off. Like, give me 8 damage in a card, or block your whole hand. And then I have space to play the tipple. I don't know. I think he kind of priced himself into some weird lines, though, with like how he sideboarded. Because he was bringing in like all these reds, like E-Strike, Sloop. Assumedly, he plays Command and Conquer in this matchup. That this seems like a matchup he would play that in. But he's also playing Sea Legs. Like, what does Sea Legs do in this matchup? This does not seem like a relevant card. And I don't think including cards in your deck because they have 3 in the corner in this matchup matters that much. I don't think that's how you're winning the game. Based on my theory of how like you're supposed to beat these decks. Based on this, I don't think that's correct. Probably sided out the Whalers and Swabbies. And maybe Oyston. Maybe Limp. I feel like you're supposed to keep the Oyston in, though. Oyston's actually pretty good in this matchup. Just like the 1 health guys you would think would suck ass, but they don't actually want to pitch to weapons. So sometimes the 1 health guys end up eating 3 damage, which is pretty nice. I don't know what else he sided out. Because he's keeping in all these reds. Very odd. But this is reaffirming my theory here. Okay. I gotta get ready for podcast in a few minutes. So thanks everyone for watching. I'm going to probably stream again in a few days. I'm planning on doing Thursday night. And maybe also this weekend. We'll see. Thank you so much for watching. Have a good rest of your day.